Aloha everyone, Live Free with JD here, and today I'm going to tell you guys about how I went from $0 to $1 million in just under 4 years. The reason I want to tell you guys this story is so that you can relate and realize that it's very possible for you too. I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on what worked for me throughout, so hopefully you guys can do it faster. And I think you'll have a little trouble believing some of the things that I'm saying on where I was at just 4 years ago. But let's get into it. Let me tell you guys how you can become a millionaire in just under 4 years. So before I had any net worth, I was selling candy back in high school. I was always trying to find opportunities with kind of sunk time. When I had a set period of time where I had to be somewhere, I tried to make the most of it. Even when I got my first couple of jobs, I was studying during lunch. I was studying during work hours. I would finish all my work and just make sure that I was learning something new throughout that process. My grandmother used to always tell me I would be a millionaire by 25. Sorry, Grandma, I let you down. It took me till 28, but here we are now. Can't wait to see you soon. Let's get started with the $0 point and take you fast forward to the $1 million point. We'll go year by year. The year was 2018. I was worth nothing. I was working an insurance job. And what I learned while I was there is that you need to get yourself into a position where you're always learning new things, and you're also at a point where you have no cap on how much income you can make. While I was there, I realized that I wasn't going to become a millionaire anytime soon. I didn't want to listen to society and what everyone said about having a career and sticking through it and retiring at 65. I decided that I would go in and do my own thing, even though no one around me was doing it. That's when I got into real estate. I had bought my first house in 2018, and from there, I started renting out the bedrooms. This is called house hacking. Whether you're buying a multi-unit and you're renting out the other units, or buying a single family house and renting out the extra bedrooms, the concept is between that extra rent, you're covering all your mortgage payment. At the time for me, I was making $400 a month and living rent free, and that really helped expedite the process in getting to where I am today. Now for you guys, it's gonna be important to start off really strong if you don't own anything yet. That first one will really catapult you and get you snowballed to a point where you can make a lot more money. And whether it's through real estate or doing your own thing, you just have to go all in with it. The way I like to put it is that SpongeBob episode where all he's supposed to do is fine dining and breathing to the point where he forgets his name. That should be you with whatever your goals and dreams are. And whatever it is that you're focusing on, you should let nothing else come in the way. You got this, guys. But that was 2018 for me. I started out with 0 net worth, and I'll take you into 2019. So at the end of 2018, going into 2019, I had accumulated $35,000 in net worth. Not a whole lot from year 1 to 2, but the way this works is it really snowballs. So it's just going to keep compounding from there. In this year, I had bought my third house. I had been Airbnb-ing the first two. And ironically, how I got started with Airbnb is I was just waiting for a friend to move into my house. In that time, the 2 months that he couldn't move in, I asked him if it was cool if I would furnish the room and just throw it on Airbnb till he moved in, and then he would rent the room furnished. He agreed. And in that 2-month period, I was covering my mortgage payment with just the Airbnb income from that one room, which really bumped my income and my ability to save more going into the next place. So with this, I had bought my third house in 2019. By the end of the year, I only had 3 houses. One of them is known as the Lab, and that's where my property management business operates out of. But at this point, I only had 3 houses, you guys. The moral of 2019 and the lesson that I learned is that sacrifice is really what had pushed me to the next level, and that's what's going to take you guys to the next level, is really making those sacrifices. It was a really hard year for me. I was commuting 2 hours each way to work, sometimes 3 hours if the traffic was bad. I was not going out to eat for lunch. I was eating on a very slim amount of money every week. I spent maybe $35 on groceries. I didn't go out with my friends much, and when I did, I wasn't buying any drinks. As you guys know, that kind of lifestyle can get tough, but I knew in my head it was not forever and that the sacrifice would pay off. And all of that sacrifice in 2019 really helped me catapult in 2020. So now we're entering 2020. By sacrificing so much in 2019, I was able to move from $35,000 in net worth up to $121,000 in net worth. Pretty solid, I'd say. If you can turn your money to 3x in 1 year, that's pretty good growth. I'm no Grant Cardone, I couldn't 10x it, but in my mind, that's what I was really pushing towards. Now, in 2020, I made a lot of life changes that you can definitely implement that would help you get to the next level with whatever you're working on. The pandemic hit, and with the Airbnbs that I had, this was definitely scary, especially those first 2 months. The reservations were much lower. A lot of people switched to long-term. I decided I would stick it out, and knowing that if I can just weather the storm, there would be a lot less competition in the market from that point on. At this time, I really decided to clamp down and really change my lifestyle. I knew with all the financial shadows going on that I would have to be laser focused. So what I did, and something that you can definitely implement, is I decided to start doing the 75 hard challenge. I didn't realize that was a thing yet, so I kind of did my own version before I had ever really found the true 75 hard challenge. But I cut out alcohol. I didn't drink for the remainder of 2020 after March. And this really helped me to stay laser focused, in the sense that I was able to get my Airbnbs back on track even during COVID. I was able to hit record numbers for myself, especially after the market opened up a little bit and people started to travel somewhat. That helped me a ton in getting to the next level. The big thing for me with not drinking and the focus is I decided that I would start my own business. And in that business, I decided to start hosting for other Airbnb owners. And I created my property management company, which today you guys all know as Liberty City Living. At this point, I had my real estate license and I was really pushing to make more sales. And by not focusing my free time on going out and kind of cutting out some of the social stuff and going back into the same sacrifice mentality that I had in 2019, you would not believe what you're able to accomplish. It's crazy where that focus and cutting out alcohol takes you. I made sure that I was working out every day. I was really focusing on the things I could control. So the lesson that I got out of 2020 was to take control of what you can control and let go of the things that you can't. If you're focusing your efforts on all of the controllables, you're not going to have any time to worry about the things that you can't. You're only going to be putting positive energy into this world, and you're going to be able to really create a life that you never thought would be possible in a much shorter time. I hate when people set goals that are 5-10 years out, and I hear how slow they are. I hear how just achievable they are from where they are right now, and the deadlines that they set. You have to really let go of limiting beliefs and make sure that everything you set is, it should sound scary to you when you go to set your goals. So take that on, try that. I recommend pausing the video and seeing if you can get something going there. While you pause the video, be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you want to follow the journey on how I'm going to hit 10 million. So you're probably wondering what kind of money moves I made. I know I talked about all the sacrifices. Well, let me tell you where these took me. So in 2020, I had 2 houses built from the ground up. The way I was able to do this was I pre-purchased the contracts. So I only had to put a small amount down. I didn't have to pay cash for the entire construction. I didn't have to lay out anything crazy. I used the money I had saved up from sacrificing my lifestyle to build 2 brand new houses that had hot tubs on the roof overlooking the Philadelphia city skyline. These 2 houses have turned out to be some of the best investments I've ever had. We're looking at cap rates that are just off the charts. We're talking 20% cap rates, unicorn deals. Those really helped me move a little further. I had also bought 1 2-story house that everyone that I showed to, again, I was an agent, so I always try to share investments that I think will be good with friends and fellow investors. Everyone I shared it with thought it was crazy. They said that'll never rent. I don't like the neighborhood. I ended up purchasing a house for $220,000. Within the first week of closing on the house, I ended up renting that house out on Airbnb. It was actually word of mouth for $4,800 a month. So with that kind of return, using those 3 houses and the 3 that I had before, and the fact that I wasn't paying rent because I was house hacking, at this point, I still had my W-2 job until November. So with these 6 houses, I was really able to stack cash and cash flow and get to the point where I didn't need the W-2 job. So at the end of the year, I quit and decided to focus fully on helping other people manage their short-term rentals. So with 2021, I was continuing to doing the Live Hard program. And what that is there's just a set of things you have to do every day. For half the year, you're not drinking. For half the year, you're working out twice a day. For half the year, you're writing a list of 8 things you have to do every day that you do no matter what before you go to bed. A gallon of water. There are so many just easy routine things you can put into your lifestyle that will take you to that next level. And by doing those things that year, it really helped me change, because by the end of 2021, I had hit that $1 million goal. Remember, I started at 0 at the middle of 2018. So I was able to go from 0 to $1 million by incorporating that lifestyle into what I did and just chasing things authentically and going after the things that I had wanted. Now, as far as the kind of the money moves I made in 2021, no matter what business you're in, there's verticals that you can make and plays you can make. So for me, those verticals were things such as being a real estate agent and being a real estate property manager. Anyone that I sold real estate to that was an investor ended up going into property management with my team. It really helps to have the perspective of both angles. And by doing so, every sale was essentially 2 sales. That was a really cool factor. And now I try to do that with everything that I do. So no matter what business you're in, if there's a problem that you have and something that you can't solve. So for me, I got into property management because I had tried another property manager and it wasn't working out. So I decided to start my own property management and handle that problem. Now for you, if you have a struggle in your business, or there's something that you feel like there's not a vendor out there or a third party who you can outsource to, then you should go out and create that solution for yourself and find a way to offer that to other people. Even if they're not directly related to your business, that's a vertical that you can play to make some extra cash. The other thing I realized this year was that I was gonna have to stop handling so many things myself. So I spent the whole year finding ways that I can be keeping you only have 24 hours a day. So I wanted to keep the time that I was spending every day to myself, to be able to have time to think, to see where the business needed to go, and anything that was a busy task for me that might be challenging or rewarding for someone else to learn. I tried to offload that with the sense that I can give someone the opportunity to learn and get ahead of where they currently are, learn new skills, help me handle something that I need, and it's a win-win for everyone. With allocating those tasks to other people, they got more skilled. I ended up being able to focus on bigger things. And when I'm able to focus on things that are challenging for me and keep developing myself, I was able to bring in a whole lot more money than I ever have before. And that allowed me to be generous in paying the people who were helping me and really giving them a leg up to hone their skills and get paid for it. Now, 2021, as far as the houses that I bought, I went from 6 houses to 23 by the end of 2021. It was a crazy year for me. I had bought a duplex in Philadelphia. I had bought a 7-unit package up in the Poconos, 4 of them being these cute little bungalows, just 1-bedroom romantic retreats, super cool little cottages. And these kind of purchases and making places that no one else could copy, something that's super unique and modern, Instagrammable, as I like to say, that's where I realized that my passion was. So now for 2022, my goal is to create experiences that no one else can create, to really do things and kind of forget about the money aspect. Because for me, I realized as a creator that if you put your time into making something that's very difficult to do, it's hard to get the vision to go from the idea to the end goal. I realized that if I just stuck on that path, the numbers would come. And that's what happens with a lot of my rentals. So that's it. That's the story of how I went from $0 to $1 million in just under 4 years. I highly encourage you guys chase your dreams. Just hit your passion no matter what people are saying about it. You need to really let go of limiting beliefs. Anytime you think that you can't do something, you're probably right. And if you think that you can, you will. Put it out there to the world. Make sure you really focus on your social media game so that you can attract the right people who will help you get to where you want, and you're going to be able to help other people to get to where they want. The number one thing I want you guys to leave this video with is to like and subscribe to the channel. Just kidding. The number one thing you guys need to do after watching this video is just get started. Whatever that thing is that you've been dying to go do, whatever that thing is that's trying to pull you in, that you want to pursue, just get started with it. If you do that, I can't wait to see where you're at in the next couple years. Keep me posted and be sure to live free.